Hey guys, it's James here. I had the pleasure of visiting Alton Towers Resort in England, and I'd love to share this amazing place with you. When you walk in, the first thing you notice is that you can't see any rides, only the beautiful grounds and the remains of the incredible original structure. I started my day by heading to the left side. I was very tempted by the delicious treats offered by this first kiosk, but I kept heading on towards Mutiny Bay. In this section, you'll find attractions such as Shark Bait Reef and the Battle Galleons. After my wet experience at Blackpool on Valhalla, I decided to skip the Battle Galleons, but I can imagine it would be really fun on a hot summer day. From here, I went directly to the newest coaster at the park, Wicker Man. This is easily one of the most visually striking coasters I've ever seen. The mixture of wood, smoke, mist, and fire-like visuals is incredible. You don't find out until the coaster's pre-show, but you are the honored guest that is about to be sacrificed to the Wicker Man.
The time has come for the Wickerman to rise. Together we shall feed the flame.
Even with that somewhat frightening introduction, this is still a fantastic family coaster that is both a joy to ride and watch. As I continued around, I found Congo River Rapids. Still not wanting to get wet, I decided to skip this one, but it did look like a pretty good river rapids ride. Next up is Runaway Train. This Mach-powered coaster is now the oldest coaster in the park. It has some of the longest wait times the 2 days I was there, but it was still completing 2 to 3 circuits each run. It has a good amount of interaction with Congo River Rapids, which kind of made it a lot more fun. One thing that's striking about this park is the distance between all of the major attractions. I passed through the gloomy wood and into the Forbidden Valley. This section of the park is home to 2 coasters, the most famous which is Nemesis. This terrain-hugging beast of an invert is literally a beast, complete with bloody track. After a single ride, I fell in love with Nemesis. This is easily my favorite invert, and its interaction with the ground is unlike anything I've ever seen. Next up is the coaster formerly known as Air, Galactica. This was the first B&M flying coaster, and while it's not at the level of Tatsu, it's still a great ride. I'm really glad they removed the VR for this year because I would not have liked that. After finishing on the left side of the park, I decided to head over to the Dark Forest. Unfortunately, there's no easy circle to complete in this park to get from Forbidden Valley to Dark Forest, so on my first day I chose to walk through the gardens. This route has warning signs all over about the steps you will encounter, but trust me, it's worth it to take the garden route at least once if you're visiting Alton Towers. I'll take this real castle over any fake castle at some of those other mega resorts any day. Just look at this thing. It's incredible. The Sky Ride is also worth the wait. The views of the gardens are awesome, so walk or Sky Ride, there's really not a bad option here. This place is quickly becoming one of my favorite theme parks. The Sky Ride does give some really cool coaster views as you come into the Dark Forest area. Now we enter the Dark Forest. As soon as you get into this area, you see the Intamin launch coaster Rita. I hadn't heard much about Rita, but I found it to be really fun. The other coaster in the Dark Forest area is 13. I'm not going to spoil this one, but it's worth at least one ride. Continuing on around the castle, we see the new 2019 attraction, The Dungeon, right next to Cloud Cuckoo Land. That's some interesting placement indeed. I'm not sure I've told you how much I like the castle ruins. I do. This place is fantastic. I'd come to see this even without all the rides. Speaking of rides, there was no ride I was looking forward to more than the next one I would see as I came down the hill and entered the X sector. One of the most infamous rides in the world, the Smiler is simply a work of art. I honestly can't describe how much I enjoyed this incredibly unique coaster. With a record 14 inversions, I couldn't stop smiling because of just how insanely fun it was. I ended my trip of 2 days with 21 rides on this masterpiece. Normally, I like to try and show in my videos some semblance of how a coaster is laid out. The Smiler makes that impossible. But it's still so much fun. After buying everything in the Smiler store, I stopped by for my favorite treat of the trip, a donut Oreo sundae at the Donut Factory. The other coaster in X Sector, Oblivion, is a short B&M dive coaster. While it has a fantastic soundtrack and is fairly fun, I only rode it a few times as there are many better dive machines out there. The last full coaster of my trip was Spinball Whizzer. I wasn't really expecting to enjoy this one, but I actually found it to be fairly fun. It's certainly a step up from some of the spinning coasters I've been on in the US. Because it's in a kid's land, I didn't capture the Octonauts coaster, but it's there and your little one will enjoy it until they can be terrified by Wicker Man. I really enjoyed my day at Alton Towers, and I really can't wait to return. I hope you enjoyed our tour. Please like and subscribe as we have more great content coming soon.